Hi team, welcome to today's live where I jump in here and answer any of your questions that you might have around your pregnancy, labor, birth, sorry, gosh how annoying, just fixing the camera up here, your pregnancy, labor, birth or newborn period. I am thrilled to be here. I love touching base with you all. I'm just looking over my shoulder there. Every now and then when I come in and do these lives, I'm like, oh, the poor plant. The poor plant does not look well today. If you saw on Instagram stories, you will know that it is a very big day for the team and I in the office. We are pitching for the final round of what's called the Cartier Women's Initiative. I don't know if you have seen, I shared something in the tribe about it the other day. It's a bunch of women all over the world who are doing something good for humanity, basically, by running their businesses. And I applied for this. I actually applied myself in 2019 and I got through to the finals and didn't get further through. And then this is the year that we are through to the finals, which is hugely exciting. But I pitched tonight and I'm really, really nervous. And you would have seen on Instagram that I had a lovely cream silk blouse on this morning that I was going to wear for the pitch, and I spilled coffee on it this morning. So, yeah, winning. It's currently drying in the toilets in the office. So please say hello and let me know if you have any questions for me that I can answer for you. So if you are new to this page and you're wondering why I'm yabbering on, just ignore all of that. If you do know what I'm talking about, please wish me luck for tonight. I will be pitching at 5 o'clock tonight, and I'm really looking forward to it, but I'm super duper nervous. If you are new to this page, my name is Edwina. I'm a registered midwife and an emergency nurse, and I am the founder of Birthbeat. So Birthbeat is a little business that I started after my daughter Polly was born, and I just felt like really the experience for me, even though it was a positive birth experience, it was still quite shocking, even though I was a registered midwife, and my partner, my husband Ross, definitely didn't feel like he was well prepared. So I set about creating childbirth education classes that are fun, but actually teach you what you need to know, as opposed to a lot of classes where they just talk about how to be a good patient, or they talk about, certain things, but don't talk about like, what does it look like? What does it sound like? How does it feel when you're pushing a baby out? What does it look like in the few days after? So we just put a post on Instagram about lochia. So lochia is the blood loss. So it's not, people sort of get confused and think, oh, it's, the same thing as having a period. It's not, it's a very different blood loss. And the lochia can be really heavy after you birth your baby. And a lot of people are commenting on Instagram today saying, I didn't realize that you still have that after having a cesarean section. So that was really interesting, just to continue to educate women and their partners. That's what I'm hugely passionate about. Anyway, so say hello, ask me your questions, and I will answer them as quickly as I can. Hello, Steph has said hi. Steph has said, 4-month-old is awake from 11 p.m. until 4 a.m. Hey, whoa, not okay. And then up for the day at 6:30. She's breastfed and has 3 decent sleeps in the day. Awake time 2 hours in the day. Help, I'm so exhausted and I'm constantly up and down all night. What am I doing wrong here? Hey, lovely mama, you are not doing anything wrong. That is the first thing that I need to say to everybody. So I also do lots of coaching around sleep and settle and feeding. I am not a lactation consultant, and I always just refer my women to lactation consultants because I think that that's super important, and often the feeding has such a big role. Steph, can you let me know, was Bub sleeping through the night, and is this something that has changed quite quickly and is different for your little bubba? And again, there's nothing wrong, or you're not doing anything wrong, but that's not very sustainable for you and your family, for everyone to be awake from 11 p.m. till 4 a.m. Also, your gorgeous little bubba, she is going to, did you say help? She, he? I don't know what, sorry. Anyway, I think that there's definitely a chance here, Steph, that Bubby's overtired. So going to bed overtired and we need to have a look at what the day sleeps look like and what that looks like in terms of settling at night. I don't advocate any cried out. I only advocate really gentle sort of sleep coaching. And again, I don't actually really advocate, there's no one size fits all for families. There's no put your baby to sleep at 2:15, wake them up at 3:47. And the reason I don't teach like that, and again, there's no right or wrong. If that's what works for you, that's great. But birth beat sleep is probably not right for you. Why I don't do that is because I feel like that creates parents feeling really anxious about their sleep and really, like, oh, it's got to be, do you know what I mean? You want them to be able to fit in a bit with your lifestyle. You want them to sleep when they're tired, but have a bit of a guide around what's normal. And when I say what's normal, it's like, what's the normal guide for the baby and their age appropriate sleep time? So a newborn is not going to stay awake for 4 to 5 hours. Do you know what I mean? They're going to be overtired. They're going to be miserable. They're going to be fussy. They're not going to feed well, all of those sort of things. So Steph, you might have already answered that. Just let me know if that's a new thing for Bubba, or if that's something that's always been the way, and I'll be able to help you with that. It does sound like it could be occurring with a 4-month sleep regression, but you still need support. Jess has said, morning, I have an 11-month-old and I would like to stop breastfeeding. My son eats proper food, 3 meals. I'm giggling because another girlfriend of mine is currently weaning her baby and she told me about what she's doing. It's not what I'm going to recommend, but I'll let you know in a minute. My son eats proper food, 3 meals and snacks each day and drinks water. I want to stop the feeds and he's heading to daycare in 6 weeks. Thank you. So Jess, again, have you trialed dropping the feeds? So just let me know how often you are feeding Bub. Is it the daytime, the nighttime? Usually the easiest thing to do is to drop the daytime feeds, so the lunchtime feed, and again, just offering a meal, water, some milk, and then just dropping 1 feed a day is usually the easiest way to do it, particularly if he's going to daycare in 6 weeks, and then the morning and the nighttime feed are usually the last 2 to go, but some women even like transitioning those out quite slowly because they're a little, really lovely time to still have a feed, and even if they're at daycare and you're at work during the day, you can still do those feeds, but totally up to you. It would just be committing to dropping 1 feed, knowing that it might be a bit rocky for that couple of days, but sticking to it. Like with sleep, it is around consistency and just being really consistent so that Bub learns really quickly, but don't confuse Bub around it. So if Bub is still having a lunchtime feed, that would be the first one that I would drop. It's usually the easiest to drop. Michaela has said, hi Edwina, thanks for all the amazing work you continue to do. Oh, my pleasure, Michaela. As I say, I'll keep showing up if you guys keep showing up. How about that's the challenge. When I'm talking to no one, I'm feeling like a crazy person sitting here talking to my phone, I'll probably stop. My 5.5-month-old is breastfed currently, has started to cut feed times down significantly. Letdown sensation has decreased. She grunts on the breast off and on, tries to sit up, etc., becoming very frustrating for me to trust she is getting enough. Michaela, really normal developmental stage for Bub to be doing that. Again, they're really curious, they're interested in the big wide world, they want to look around. She could just be as well a very efficient little feeder. You don't necessarily have the big letdown feeling anymore. If what you are if what you are making is enough for her, the way that you know that is Bub settled after feeds? Do you know what I mean? Is it interrupting her sleep? Is her sleep still okay? And is she gaining weight and happy? That I wouldn't worry too much about the timing of the feeds. She may also, it might be interesting to see at 5.5 months, is she now interested in some solid food? And the way you test that is if Bub can hold the weight of their head up, bringing a spoon to their mouth, do they open or do they still stick their tongue out? So if they've still got the reflex of sticking their tongue out, it might not yet be time for food, but just trial that, Michaela. That might be a sign just that Bub is getting that little bit older and ready for some solids. Steph has said she's never slept through the night, but she was only waking 3 times overnight before for a feed. Yeah, so Steph, I think, and again, I wouldn't expect a 4-month-old that she is sleeping through the night. That's totally fine. But she used to settle straight after feed 2 weeks ago and suddenly she isn't settling. Okay, so it does sound a little bit to me like the 4-month sleep regression. Head to our last blog, which is on the birthbeat.com website, around how to manage sleep regressions and the things that you can be doing. Has she started doing something new? So whether that's rolling over or giggling or laughing or pushing herself up, what new skill have you noticed in the last few days? Because I'll be able to help you with that as well. It does sound to me a little bit like a 4-month sleep regression. Unfortunately, they can last as long as 2 weeks. So I can definitely help support you through that one. Amy, hi Edwina, 32 weeks pregnant. At my last appointment on Monday, I was told that I'm 2/5 engaged. What does this mean? Lucky I've got my trusty pelvis. So Amy, engagement into the pelvis is a bit of a funny measurement and it's a hard one for you to be able to visualize. But what it means is we see these bones down the back here. We basically cut that into 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And it's an indication to us of how is Bub's head sitting into the pelvis. So let's get Junior, let's get the pelvis, and say if you are, how many weeks are you? 32 weeks pregnant. And really it doesn't mean much, like it doesn't mean you're about to go into labor or anything like that. It's just reflective of the position of the baby. If your baby's sitting up like this, you're not engaged. If Bub's head is heading down into the pelvis, you are what we call engaged, which just means the head is engaged into the pelvis. That is probably about 2/5, okay? So it just means Bub's head, well, maybe a little bit more. Bub's head is heading down into the pelvis. That is what we'd call fully engaged, okay? So you may have noticed, and what a lot of my women doing my course notice, again, is when you take a big deep breath or put your hand up here, you might notice that you have a bit more space. And it just means that Bub's head has dropped down into the pelvis. So you'll hear women referring or saying things like, particularly older women will be like, oh, you've dropped, or something like that, which just means that Bub's head's moved down. Does that help you, Amy? I hope so. Jess, 3 times a day, morning, afternoon, and before bed. Awesome. Then Jess, just drop the midday, like the afternoon one first, and then see how you go with that for a few days, and then choose your next one, see how you go for that for a few days. I would say that it will be the bedtime one that you'll probably drop last. So drop the afternoon one, see how she goes for he, for a few days, and then drop the morning one. And it might be like you have to get up and start breakfast straight away, or a cup of milk, but that's absolutely fine. Zena, hello, Zena has said, hi Edwina. Sorry, I'm trying to press see more and it's not letting me, Zena. How frustrating. Oh, I've been trying to hand express at 36 and 37 weeks and nothing is coming out. This is my first pregnancy. Is it normal not to get any colostrum into syringes before the birth for some women? I've been doing the expressing correctly, but nothing is working. Zena, yes. So for expressing colostrum, and again, if you're a part of our online program, you get access to the full video of how to do that. But I made a reel on it on Instagram the other day, which shows how to express colostrum. But Zena, just try it for 5 to 10 minutes every day. Try it after a hot shower or a warm shower where you've had the warm water going on your breast, or even putting a warm washer on your breast before you try expressing. And remember, it's not just about expressing at the nipple, it's starting at the back of the breast and running your fingers all the way through like that. And if there's nothing coming out, that's absolutely fine. It's not an indication of whether you're going to produce milk or not, or have a successful journey breastfeeding, but it's still just good practice. So keep up with it, 5 or 10 minutes a day. Do try trying to lean forward or be in a little bit of a relaxed position, and try a hot shower or warm compresses before you try. Let me know how you go. And again, don't stress, it doesn't mean you won't be able to feed. Sammy, hey, I have a 12-month-old but was never able to breastfeed due to no milk coming in. I'm currently pregnant, would love to try breastfeeding this time. Any tips I can do to help bring milk in prior to the birth? Yes, so Sammy, I would actually recommend you making an appointment with a lactation consultant before you have your baby, just so that you can unpack why or what may have been influencing your milk not coming in. It might have been something to do with the birth. What we know that we can do to help milk come in is lots and lots of skin to skin. Unpack what was the birth like, was it a C-section, you know, what drugs were or were not used during the labor. All of those things can impact your breastfeeding journey, but it doesn't mean that we can't also then do other things to help support you so that you have a better journey. But my absolute golden thing is lots and lots of skin to skin. So bub just in a nappy or even naked up on your chest, you with a shirt off, and just skin to skin as much as you can in the first 24, 48 hours will help with your milk supply. And again, I don't know if last time that you had any medical intervention or had any motilium or anything like that. There is a plethora of things that we can do to support you. But I think the best thing for you, Sammy, would be to engage with a lactation consultant before you have bub, so that you've got a bit of a plan in place and you're feeling really confident about it. I have had lots of birth beat mums who didn't successfully breastfeed the first time and were able to the second time. So I just want to share that with you so that you know it is possible. Steph has said, thank you. She has started giggling and pushing herself on her back all over the floor. Excellent. So Steph, it's probably that new thing that she's learned to do that's relating to the sleep. So what I want you to really focus on during the days is letting her practice those new skills, giving her lots of reinforcement. Oh, you're so clever. You're a clever girl. Look at your giggling. Show me pushing up. Show me pushing up. And doing that over and over and over and over again, so that she's using up all of that. Oh, I've learned a new skill. That's a great thing. So that she's not waking up at 11 o'clock at night and thinking, oh, I'm going to practice that new skill, and keeping herself awake. It's about filling up her cup and letting her know how clever she is. That's also going to help impact your sleep, her sleep. So practicing those skills, letting her know how clever she is, repetitively telling her how good she is, and letting her do the skills, do the skills, do the skills, it will start to impact her sleep. All right, team, I will take one. Oh, no, there we go. Look at the time. Thanks so much. I got to go and get prepared for 5 o'clock tonight. Wish me luck. I'll quickly answer Ashley's question. Sorry. Ashley has said 34 weeks, lots of mild cramping in front and lower back, constant all night but comes and goes during the day. Braxton Hicks, question mark. Also, Bub was measuring almost 3 weeks ahead. Does that mean he may come early, or is he just a big boy? Okay, to the measuring, firstly, just a guide doesn't mean that it is actually their size. He may be a little bit on the bigger size, but somebody's going to be on the bigger size. He may also come out, you know, just absolutely perfectly normal for him and for you. I wouldn't worry about that. However, the mild cramping, whether that's muscles or whether that's Braxton Hicks, it's hard to say. What you can do though is be having paracetamol. You can have paracetamol perfectly safely in pregnancy, and get a heat pack. Okay, so if you can, get one of those wheat heat packs, heat that up, take it to bed with you. It's like period cramps, if it's like that as well, the heat really helps with it a lot, Ashley. If they are intermittent and if they are increasing in nature or anything like that where you might be worried, please make sure that you speak to a midwife, GP or obstetrician. I hope that is helpful. Steph has said, you're amazing. Thank you for your advice. My absolute pleasure. All right, guys. Do me a favor, share this with your friends. Anybody who's pregnant, let them know about BirthBeat. Anyone who has a little baby that you think they should be doing our baby and child first aid, or any friends who are struggling with sleep. Please make sure you help us share the message with this incredible community, and let's improve the birth experience for mums all over the country. Talk to you all soon. Ashley said, yes, thank you. I had hot water bottle last night and was amazing for relief. Great. Do not underestimate the power of heat and water. All right, talk to you all soon. Bye.